Okay, so today we continue with our class Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. The start is Sefer Chofetz Chaim. Today's topic group reproof. Okay, 1 second. So it says we have seen that one must reprove the speaker of Lashon Hara, even if it is highly unlikely that reproof will be effective. So as we said before, at least you have to show him somehow that you're not agreeing with him, and you have to show him that whatever he's doing or she's doing is not correct. When several people are involved in a discussion that includes Lashon Hara, one must speak up and caution them that what they're discussing is forbidden. So, I mean, as we said before, if you're not comfortable doing that, just leave. If you can talk to them, yeah, you have to review them. However, unlike the case of the individual who speaks Lashon Hara, if people ignore the reproof, one should not persist in his rebuke unless he feels that his words might ultimately achieve the positive result. So, as we said, with one person, you have to continue and continue and continue. Right, but with a group, people usually they behave differently in a group than they behave individually. Right, so from this peer pressure, they might continue. If this person would be separate, like from the group, he might listen to it. So that's why they say do not persist. In an unreceptive group setting, it is wise to refrain from excessive reproof. Okay, so if you know that everybody is wicked, so what are you trying to achieve? Right? An exception to this rule is when one finds himself in a community where the prohibition of Lashon Hara has long been disregarded. Okay. Widespread disregard calls for the more than ordinary reproof. So now we're talking about, I would say, the Jewish community, right? So in this case, I have to reprove them. 1 second. So, or we're talking about the settings when people, when people, as I said, they disregard long time ago, right? Everybody speaks, and as we had this discussion some time ago, right? So some people say maybe it's allowed, but just because everybody is doing it, it's allowed? No, it's not allowed, right? So widespread, one more time the sentence, widespread disregard calls for more than ordinary reproof. It demands a persistent protest, calling for awareness of the severity of speaking Lashon Hara and knowledge of what constitutes Lashon Hara. So some people would say, like, no, you talking Lashon Hara about me, right? So we have to teach him the laws. So in some instances it is allowed. It's an actually obligation to speak Lashon Hara, but in most of the cases it would be forbidden. Okay, so we stop here, and we continue with Kitzur. Baruch Hashem. So let me see how much is left. Okay, maybe we're going to finish even this Siman today. So we're talking about the Mourners Kaddish. And last time, one very interesting thing that we mentioned. So we're talking about the priority, who is saying Kaddish when, right? So as we said, in olden days, it was custom that only one person would say Kaddish, and even children would say Kaddish. So as I said, this Kaddish was instituted for children because they cannot pray as a Chazan, as a leader of the congregation. So, but the child can say Kaddish. I haven't seen ever that child would say Kaddish. Father would say, and his son would stand there. But I would assume this father was saying for his parents, not for, God forbid, his wife. Okay. So I'm on page 294, and the topic is the laws of Mourners Kaddish, and it's Siman 26, okay, and Sieve 16, and it says, one who is in the mourning for both his father and mother, and his mother, is nevertheless not entitled to a greater privilege in regard to the leading prayer or reciting Kaddish than any other mourner. Okay. So as we said before, if they compete who is going to say Kaddish, so if one is going to lead the prayers, so he has to give the right of saying Kaddish to another guy, if he is also capable of leading prayers, right? If not, then he's not obligated. So they would cast lots or just share, right? Like take turns if it's possible, if there is nobody else, basically. All right. So so one more time this sentence. One who is in more. So basically, if he's I'm not sure. Maybe his parents died in a car accident together. Possible, right? So now he has to say Kaddish for both of them at the same time. So there is no greater privilege than when somebody is saying for one person. For one act performed as a memorial can accomplish the merit of this soul as well as that soul. Knesses Yecheskel, si responsa nada Yehuda, or Chaim 2, Siman 8. Okay, so commentary say, and we're going to explain. Knesses Yecheskel rules that if one person was hired to recite Kaddish on behalf of two people, he does receive the double privileges. Okay, but that's not what Kitzur says. So basically, sometimes people would pay to not so that often, very often, even I'm saying Kaddish now for my uncle who didn't have sons, but I also pay to somebody as a backup. So there is somebody else, not somebody else, but the whole organization that you can pay money. They would say Kaddish, right? And so, but for example, when I was sick, I could not say Kaddish, so somebody was saying Kaddish to make sure that we don't miss. Okay. So, but just because according to Kitzur, that person, let's say, so maybe he has a list of 100 people, 200 people. So in his mind, he visualized this list, or maybe he holds in his hands when he's saying Kaddish. Maybe yes, maybe no, I don't know. So it does not give him more precedence than to others. It's one Kaddish, and he can have all of the other people in mind. Okay, Sif number 17. It is a custom that the Kaddish is recited for only 11 months after the parent's death. So as we said before, for all others except parents, for whom person is obligated to say Kaddish, it's 30 days. But for parents, it's the mourning period is a 12 months. But Kaddish we say only for 11. Why is that? The reason for this custom is so that to avoid establishing one's parents as a great sinners. For the punishment of evil people in Gehinnom is 12 months. Commentary. As we have seen in the Sif 1, reciting Kaddish is a source of merit to the deceased parent, saving them from the rages of Gehinnom. Since the maximum term of Gehinnom is 12 months, as see Mishnah Eidus 2:10, the Kaddish is recited for a full 12 months. It would imply that there is a need for the merit, and an inheritance can be drawn, an inference can be drawn from this that the parent was a great sinner. However, serving as a chazan and reciting Kaddish the Rabbanan at the Siyum during the 12th months of the mourning is a virtuous action, and is a merit for the soul of the one's parents, but it is not mandatory. Okay, so what does it say here? So it says here that so the judgment in Gehinnom, 12 months. So I think people take it out of the context. So the whole judge, the judgment process is at 12 months, right? For who? For bad people, right? So for the sinners, and for the righteous people, it's less than that. It's 11 months, right? So that's what they say. So don't imply that your parents are sinners, right? By saying the Kaddish for 12 months, but end of the commentary say he can still serve as a Chazan. I mean, one has nothing to do with another, right? He's serving as a Chazan, but he does not say Kaddish except the Kaddish de Rabbanan. So it's a longer Kaddish that we say after learning of the Torah. I mean, in public, of course. Okay, 49, continue. For example, if parent died on the 10th of Shvat, the mourner ceased to recite Kaddish on the 9th of Teves. On the 10th of Teves, he should no longer recite Kaddish. For that, that is the first day of the 12th month. Okay. As a single day, and as a single day of the month is considered a month in some extent. Okay, it would be as though he recited Kaddish for 12 months. So it's so one more time on the, just one second, on the 10th of Teves, the person passed. One second. For example, the parents died on the 10th of Shvat. Okay. The mourner ceases to write on the 9th of Teves. So 9th of Teves is the last day. So I'm not sure. Okay, so it's exactly 11 months. On the 10th of Teves, he should no longer recite Kaddish. Okay. For that day is the first day of 12th month. Okay. And as a single day of the month is considered, okay, so all right, I apologize for the confusion. So if he would say even next day on the 10th of next month, it would be like he was saying for the whole month. So we have this concept, for example, in some instances, for example, when we count the bar mitzvah for a boy, right? When he's 13 years old and he's allowed to put tefillin. Let's say he was born this day at 4 p.m. At 4 p.m. he was born. So in the morning he's not 13, right? If we know exactly when he was born. In the morning he's still 12 and almost 13. So but we have this concept when we count partial day as a whole day. And the same logic they apply here. They say stopped right before this month, so it will be only 11 and not even one day of the 12th month. Okay. With respect to these laws, one counts the days of the mourning from the date of burial, and not from the date of the death. So one more time, with respect of these laws, one counts from the date of the days of the mourning, from the days of the burial, not from the date of the death. So when we were discussing in the beginning, so it's possible that maybe we did not discuss. I apologize. We did not discuss. No, I learned in a different class. Sorry. So okay, so let's put it like this. So we learned in a different class. So it's possible that a person passed away, right? And as I think the best example would be of one of my students' mother passed during Corona, and like in the middle of everything. So the funeral home could not. They took her from hospital to funeral home, but there were no caskets, and the company who were supplying caskets, many people were sick, so she was there for almost 3 weeks in this funeral, and then there was nobody to dig the grave. It's crazy. It's crazy. So it's very possible that the person died in one day, but buried on a different day, right? But the mourning period of, as we were discussing here, 7 days and 30 days and 1 year actually starts from the day of the burial, not from the day of the passing. That's what he's saying. Okay. So let me read one more time this laws. With respect to this laws, one counts the days of the mourning from the date of a burial, okay, and not from the day of death. So which could be a few days apart, but could be 3 weeks apart, as we said in this example.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Yahrtzeit would be from the burial day, and
no. Yahrtzeit is going to be on the next year. Next year is a day of passing. So the first year is a little confusion.
So it's the date. For example, if it is a tragic event, it will be counting from the expert date at time. So that would be the Yahrtzeit.
Yes. When they actually died. Yes.
Okay. Another question.
But the laws of the mourning is different from. You see, okay. Actually, you're asking a very, very good question. So the Yahrtzeit of passing would come like earlier than this 12 months. So the question is if this Yahrtzeit day actually celebrated somehow. I think it is celebrated. Maybe he would even say Kaddish on that day. I'm not sure. But possible. And then let's say it was like in the case of my student, right? It was 3 weeks away, 3 weeks different from the passing until the burial day. So I have to ask him what exactly he did, or we can look it up, the laws. Actually, he would supposedly logically celebrate the 1 year from the passing and 3 weeks, but he continued his mourning period for another 3 weeks.
So maybe the Yahrtzeit is more related to the certificate of how do you say, of passing away of a person? Yeah. I don't know how to say.
It's not about certificate, but about our knowledge. We don't go over the certificates. Our knowledge when the person passed away. Yeah.
Okay. Another thing is about the furniture and the place where a relative of, for example, mine, if you can move, or it's better to avoid moving and to alter the place where the person lives.
There is no problem whatsoever. That's it. He's not there.
Yeah, and if I decide that for me it's more comfortable to not to touch anything until 1 year, for example.
It's up to you. It's not a halacha. You can do whatever you want. It's not. There's no such thing. I mean, you can do whatever you want. You want to leave it as it is. Leave it as it is. You want to do other things. You can do other things.
I also I read somewhere. I don't know if it's true about mirrors. I'm not sure. About
covering the mirrors.
Yes. Yeah, and I don't know how
much. Yes, we do cover the mirrors because you see, for 30 days. For 30 days, we don't shave. So if somebody shave, some people don't take the shower for 7 days and stuff like that. They basically they're full of grief, right? They mourning, so they don't look their best. And now that this person would see himself, or the lady would see herself in the mirror without makeup and this, so they would get even more depressed. So it's not the time to look at the mirror. Just concentrate on the grief, on the loved one that the person lost. That's the thing.
But these ones would be tradition, or it's also halacha?
No, it's a tradition. That's what it's halacha. But we're going to get to this laws. Now we go. I think it's in the fifth swallow. Now we're talking about only Kaddish. Okay. Okay. This is because the punishment Gehinom does not begin until after the burial. So I remember we have the movie the Chibut Hakever. So that's what it is. So only after the burial, the punishment begins, right? Okay, continue. But if the previous example, but if in the previous example, it was a leap year. So like this year is a leap year. We have 2 months of Adar. So now we have Adar 1. And yesterday was the Yahrtzeit of our great Moshe Rabbeinu, right? Continue. 1 second. So if it's a leap year, that his parent died, he stopped reciting Kaddish in the 9th, on the 9th or the 10th day of Kislev. So meaning what? That we still doing 11 months, not 12 months, but 11 months. You understand? So in a leap year we have 13 months. So even though in a calendar 13 months, but we count by what is it? By 11 months for the righteous person. I mean for parents. So. Okay, continue. During the leap year, the month. Okay, here's the next one. Months of Adar is repeated, which results in 13 months. Thus, one who began reciting Kaddish in a leap year before the first Adar will complete 11 months, 1 calendar month earlier than the common year. Okay, so that's logical. He stopped reciting Kaddish on the 9th or 10th of Kislev. So let's see. If the burial was delayed by a day, that day is not included in the determining of the months. The months of Kaddish, and thus he stopped on the 12th. So basically, that's why they Kitzur said on the 9th or on the 10th. 10th meaning, so the proper way is to bury a person on the same day. That's the best. So person has to be ready that he's going to go eventually, basically. So he has to purchase himself a plot where he should be buried. And after he passed away, there is a mitzvah to respect the deceased body and bury him as soon as possible. Possible today, bury him today. Okay, continue. Same halacha. On the day that the mourner ceased to recite Kaddish, he's entitled to recite every Kaddish, with the exception of Kaddish is to the Yahrtzeit of the observer is entitled. As a mourner, as is a mourner within Shloshim. Okay, so basically on the last day of this 11-month period, right? He can say every Kaddish, right? Except if somebody has Yahrtzeit on that day, right? So we have to give him 1 Kaddish. Or somebody is saying observing only 30 days of mourning. So 30 days of mourning is everybody except the parents. So it's lo lein lo lachem for a parent, for children, for brother, for sister, for wife, for husband. That's what we do. Only 30 days. So if this person saying this Kaddish for his wife and it's 30 days, the last day, so we have to give him priority. And then at least 1 Kaddish. If there was numerous Yahrtzeit observers or the mourners within the Shloshim, so it's possible, especially when it was during the Corona, like many people passed away, right? And they will not all be able to recite Kaddish. So now let's say there are 4 people, 5 people. So what are you going to do? He, the mourner, who is reciting Kaddish on the final day, is displaced by them. So they pushed them off. Why is that? Although he may displace all other mourners, he does not display the Yahrtzeit observer or the 30-day mourner. So basically, if there's a 5 30-day mourners, they push him off. Or there are 3 Yahrtzeit, 4 Yahrtzeit, they push him off. That's it. Okay. As explained in Bir Halacha, paragraph 132, he displays other mourners only as a courtesy, since he will no longer recite the Kaddish. So basically, the guy said last time, just let him go, let him do, right? The other mourners allow him 1 full day during which he will not be interfered with reciting Kaddish. So basically, it's his last day. Everybody agree, but very interesting explanation is a sign of courtesy. So tomorrow he's not going to be there, not to be saying Kaddish, so we can say Kaddishim is there is going to be at least 1 free Kaddish that we can split. The Yahrtzeit observer and the 30 days mourner. One second, sorry. Block it. I apologize. Okay. Apologize. Okay. So one more time, this the Yahrtzeit observers and a 30-day mourner, however, will not benefit from him no longer recited Kaddish. The Yahrtzeit observer has precedence because he recites Kaddish only on this date. So that's it. That's all he has. Only this day. And the 30 days mourner, because he would, in any case, have precedence over the mourner who is completing Kaddish, his Kaddish recital. I mean, this is saying this guy is saying for the last day, and this guy is saying for the last day, just right. And therefore, they need to not extend him any courtesy. So that's the only chance that they have. Okay, so no courtesy. Indeed, since they have a presence over him, meaning that he's going to say Kaddish on the Yahrtzeit, right? And is over him, and if there are insufficient opportunities to recite the Kaddish, it is he who will be displaced. So basically, if it's not enough Kaddishim and people with Yahrtzeit, so this guy is it's not, as we said, it's not the Yahrtzeit. It's only 11 months, right? So he's going to say Kaddish on the Yahrtzeit, which is very interesting. So let's say in the case of this student of mine, right? So as we said that this his mother was buried only 3 weeks after, so he would not. So he would say the Kaddish on her Yahrtzeit, and that's it. But up to 12 months, he's going to continue with a mourning period. So basically, there's no contradiction. It's very situation is very straightforward. Okay. So continue. One who knows that his father and mother were great sinners. So okay. So here is don't do anybody any favors, right? If they were sinners, they were sinners. If they were Michal Shabbos, they were Michal Shabbos, right? And would be counted among those who are punished in Gehenna for 12 months or forever. It is appropriate that therefore he is obligated to recite Kaddish for a entire 12 months. So if they know they were Michal Shabbos, don't stop at 11. Right? Pit Teshuva citing Chachmas Yerushalayim. So some people that they embarrassed and say, why would I say? I told you people, so look, you know who your parents were, just nobody counting. Like if you ask how many like people around me saying Kaddish? Well, I have no idea. I have no idea. Maybe 5 months, maybe 12 months, maybe it's third year. I have no idea. I'm not paying attention. So, but for the sake of his parents that we know for sure they're sinners, so continue saying. So far, nobody listened to me. That's that's very interesting thing. Okay, Baruch Hashem. Okay, we'll see what their parents would tell them when they're going up to meet them. So commentaries say, as reciting Kaddish provides the parents' merit, with which they avoid the harsh punishment, it is indeed an obligation upon the child to recite the Kaddish for the full time period during which the deceased parent would be subject to the punishment. One whose parents was a Shabbos desecrator should recite Kaddish for 12 months. Okay. So I did not make it up, but I remember that I learned somewhere, but people are very stubborn. Okay. So continue. Number 18. When may the merciful one save us from such a situation, when the many mourners present, then to prevent quarrels and arguments over the precedence in reciting Kaddish, it is the custom of many communities that 2 or 3 mourners recite Kaddish in unison. So that's so we actually like today everywhere that I went to, at least they actually follow this halacha, right? So sometime like when I went to Mincha Marish today, I think like it was six people or 7 people were saying Kaddish at the same time, maybe 7, right? I mean, nobody wants like why should like divide and stuff like that. And plus the one who may make decision, this rabbi, is going to be his enemy, right? Enemy number 1. But he's going to tell somebody just keep quiet. So I think it's resolution, good resolution. Let them say in unison. Okay. So Sif number 19. If there is not present in a synagogue one mourning for his father or mother, the mourner's Kaddish should be recited by someone who is no longer has parents, on behalf of all deceased Jews. So we're going to see the commentary, and we're going to count. Okay, Rema 133:2 in the Mishnah Brura, there on the place 11, we said that even one who has parents may recite this Kaddish if in his estimation his parents would not object. Okay. So what is it said? It says here. So okay. So this person has 2 parents, let's say, right, or even 1 parent. So if he would start saying Kaddish, right, from because there's no mourner, so people might think that his mother passed away or his father just passed away. And that's why he's saying Kaddish, not because there are no mourners, and it's like Ayin Ra, like bad eye, right? So to give a bad eye to his living parent. So if a person does not have parents, that's a one story, different story. But if he has parents, so usually people they don't say it, right? And then plus, as we know, it's not only for the parents to say. A person might say for his children, right, or for his wife, or his, right. So why would he like giving them Ainara? But there's always elderly person who does not have parents. Let him say, right? As it says here. Here they clearly allow. Some communities have a custom that other relatives recite Kaddish for the deceased relatives, other than fathers and mothers, when there is no mourners reciting Kaddish for the father or mother. So okay, so or other relatives can say there is no problem. Even when there is like for example, I'm saying for my uncle. Okay. Even when there are mourners who are mourning for their father or mother, if there is someone present who wants to recite Kaddish for his grandfather or grandmother who had died without living sons, or for his sons or daughter who had died without children, okay, possible. The mourners should allow them to recite one Kaddish. So meaning it's like some relatives, but there is nobody else to say. After they had recited one Kaddish, right? The mourners should allow them to recite one Kaddish after they had all recited one Kaddish. So meaning give them some respect, give them one Kaddish. 57 commentary. According to this custom, only children who are mourning their deceased parents have entitled to recite Kaddish. Where there is a sufficient opportunity, this should be allowed to recite Kaddish as well. So the proper way, like this 11-month mourning is for children for their parents. So they have the top priority, right? But it's possible that to give it to someone else who is sent for somebody. For example, my uncle didn't have children, so there's nobody else to say for him. Okay. Some communities have a custom that relatives other than the son are also entitled to recite Kaddish. Okay, other than the son. Even there were those who are mourning parents, so meaning they lost their children, only that they can compromise among themselves, so that the others mourners do not recite as many Kaddishim as do mourners for the father and mother. So basically you can compromise, right? Compromise among themselves, but of course the privilege goes to the mourner for father and mother, but they should give it. The person cannot, the way I see it, some people are very stubborn. They want to lead the prayers, and because of the honor for father and mother, what honor, like in my mind, like what father is for you, father and mother, if you quarrel with another person, however, it does not look good, right? You honor the dead and disrespected the living. That's not a good tactics. Continue. According to the second custom, even one mourning other relative is entitled to recite Kaddish. However, as he is not obligated, he is less entitled than one mourning for his parents. I mean, I'm not obligated to say for my uncle. He will therefore be granted fewer opportunities than the other mourners. Of course, I mean, he's not obligated. He's nobody to him, so that's the thing. In all of this situation, one should follow the custom, provided that there is an established custom in a community. Okay, so let's see. Time. Okay, we have time. So, Beezrat Hashem, I'm planning to finish this Kaddish. We'll see. Okay, so chapter is Sif number 20. And it says, a daughter should not recite Kaddish in a synagogue. However, there are those who say that if they wish to assemble a minyan in her home, in order that she recite Kaddish there, they are permitted to do so. Knesset Haskel. Other authorities says, however, that even this should not be done. So, response of Chavos Yair. So let's say, for appropriate manner, through which a daughter can earn merit, for an appropriate merit for which a daughter can earn merit for her departed parents. See the final words of CF 22. So it's not okay. So that's it. So my explanation why women should not say Kaddish. So the attention of all men. So let's say she assembled a minyan, right? Let's say, but all of them are going to look at her, and it's very improper, right? So that's a simple explanation. Okay, Sif number 21. One who observed Yahrtzeit, during which he was unable to recite Kaddish. For example, if he was traveling, or he did not receive the opportunity to recite Kaddish, may still recite Kaddish during the Marif service that follows Yahrtzeit. Okay, so commentators say, as due to the large number of the Yahrtzeit observed, there is no Kaddish for him to recite. So basically, they all of them were locals, and he was, as we learned before, from a different synagogue. So they basically push him away. Okay, so he can do it Marif next day. So especially, I would say, if they start the Marif a little early, so it's questionable this day, that day. So, okay. Continue. Last CF number 22. Also, as we learn, reciting Kaddish and leading the prayer are acts of greatly benefit the soul of departed parents. They're nevertheless not the main way of accomplish this. So if you want to, like you can dedicate lectures, you can dedicate studies, you can dedicate every time you learn Torah, you can dedicate to the memory of your parents, right, or somebody loved ones that you send Kaddish for. I mean, it does not have to be only Kaddish or leading of the prayer. What is essential is that the children follow the straight path. So, like when this judgment is going on, so they say, okay, let's see who you left in this world. That's why we said, like always. I say always, but I'm not sure if anybody listens. I'm not sure, maybe, but I'm not sure. So basically, if somebody is not Shomer Shabbos, it's basically for him, it's good for him and good for his parent not to say Kaddish. People get upset. I said pay to somebody. I mean, me personally, I said Kaddish for many people, but I always paid, or I make them, their relatives, to pay if they want me to say Kaddish. I say you have to like pay to organization. What if I'm late? What if I overslept? I'm sick. I'm this. I'm that. I cannot say it for whatever reason. So they have to pay. That's why I advise many people who not Shomer Shabbos to say unless they want to do teshuvah, right? If person wants to do teshuvah, that's great merit for the parents. But if he's not ready in double quotes, right? So he's not ready yet. So so I said, your parents are getting judged every time you Michal Shabbos, and they say, look at this. Look who is saying, who is praising Hashem, the biggest sinner. Not a good idea. Okay. But people, they go by their emotions, not by halacha. That's the problem. That's the root of the problem. Even though I showed them in the book, that's what it says. But okay. What is the essential? That the children follow the straight path. Okay, so even Dora, she started follow the straight path. That's the biggest merit for her parents. As by doing so, they provide merit for their parents. Exactly. This is mentioned in the following passage from the Holy Zohar in Parshas Bechukasai. Right? A son must accord honor to his parents, as it is stated in Shmos 20:12. Honor your father and mother. Honor father and mother. This verse is explained as referring to honoring them with food and drink. Okay, so you have to give food and drink to your mother and father. Okay. And in all these forms of honor, he can be obligated only during the lifetime of the parent. Very interesting. So while parents are alive, so you have to give them food and drink. If they're not alive, continue. However, after their death, if you suggest that there is that he is absolved from this obligation, it is not so. So basically, he has to continue honoring even after the death. What does it mean? Commentary. Since the verse "honor your father," etc., is interpreted by the sages' expression of obligation to honor parents with food and drink, one could think that when the parents no longer alive and one can no longer perform these acts of honor, the obligation to honor them is no longer applicable, which we know is not true. Okay. For although his parent has died, he's actually obligated to honor him even more. As it is written, honor your father. For if the son follows sinful path, he certainly shames his father. That's what we tell him. Like, what is it? Like they see, look who you left in this world. Right? Father. Indeed, it accords him honor in this world among people, and it accords the honor in the next world before the Holy One, blessed be He. So if he's a righteous person, it's right, the Holy One, blessed be He, then has mercy on the Father, and will certainly place him in honorable seat. So Hashem is going to give him discount. Okay, maybe you're not such a great person, but your son is actually came out very good. Until here is the language of the Zohar. Therefore, it is appropriate for each person to instruct his children before he dies, to strengthen the observance of the specific mitzvah. Okay, commentary. Although one must certainly fulfill all of the mitzvahs undertaken and most scrupulous observance of the specific mitzvah will provide merit for departed souls. So like he said, in the merit of my father, I'm going to do this and this. 62. And if they fulfill this mitzvah, it is a greater significance than the reciting Kaddish. So that goes for women. So if she wants to honor your deceased ones, that's what she does. This is the excellent manner of earning merit. So dedicating this mitzvah over to the past parent or other people that we want for. And it's also appropriate for one who has no sons, only daughters. Okay, so meaning he has 5 daughters. So they're not going to say Kaddish. But as we said today, it's possible to pay. Just pay somebody, some boy from the yeshiva, some guy from the yeshiva from Kolo, who is going to say Kaddish. Commentary. As daughters generally do not recite Kaddish, one who has only daughters can instruct them to engage in an enhanced observance of the specific mitzvah in his merit, and benefit that will provide for his soul can be even greater in significance than reciting Kaddish. Okay, so we can stop here, and so let me just see what the next topic. The next topic is going to be laws of Torah study. It's very interesting. Okay, so any questions? Please go ahead. Any topic? Questions or no? Go ahead.
Yes. Are converting people allowed to put tefillin?
No.
Okay.
So people in the process of conversion not allowed to put tefillin or even tzitzis. So if for example the most lenient opinion would be if they set up appointment with the Beis Din, everything is set. Let's say I don't know, on this week, today is Tuesday, and they're going to there on Thursday. Okay, they would allow to put in tefillin without blessing, just put in tefillin for practice, because it is for sure is going to Beezrat Hashem, but it's very very possible. But when people, the problem is, I'm going to say what the problem is. And Rabbi Reuven told me, and it's a big thing, like some people, they would start observing things, right? All of the mitzvahs. And they then they say, why do I need to come? Why do I have to go to this Beis Din? You understand? I'm living more Jewish life than most of the Jews. You understand? That's a big problem. That's why we don't allow, because and sometimes people quit for whatever reason. I'm working with one student of mine. So this lady, she went to this synagogue, right? And people are crazy. People are crazy. And another lady made a stupid comment. You understand, about whatever, right? And then now she's upset, and she said, I don't want to convert. I said, you normal because of one stupid lady, so who cannot keep your mouth shut? That's what you do. But that's what the people do. And men, same thing can happen to men. They don't want to count. Of course, they're not going to count him in minyan, which is normal. It's according to halacha. But some stupid guy is going to make a comment, whatever comment from his past, right? That you belong to whatever. You understand? And this guy is going to quit. And he said, I don't want to convert, but I'm going to still put my tefillin on, which is big issue. You understand? He's not allowed. Or keep Shabbos, not allowed. So that's why, unless we're 100% sure they're going to go like a few days before there is appointment, so that's where what we're going to be allowed.
So now, how are you going to recite the Shema without the tefillin?
No, you're not obligated to have tefillin because you're not there yet. You're not allowed to put tefillin, but you can say Shema, right? I tell you what, for other people, it's the most preferable to recite Shema with tefillin. I agree with 100%. It is tzitzis. Otherwise, it does not make sense. You accept tzitzis, but you don't wear one, right? You have tefillin. You say tefillin. You don't. So it's like our sages explain. It's like a person's false witness, right? You say all of the praises, but you don't do the thing, right? So in this case, in the case of the convert, they said not convert. In the case of the person that going through the Giyur, does not apply to him. It's a person in a training. But some people, so just so you know, they dropped like in the very last stages. I'm not sure what happened. I didn't work with them in Rabbi Reuven's group. I don't know, I don't know what, somebody told them something, but I don't know, or whatever happened. But it happens all the time. People change. I mean, people see responsibility and say, why should I don't want it, right? Okay, go ahead. Next question.
But for example, the tzitzit, isn't it made by oneself?
No, you can buy. I don't know. Don't know
because I thought it was Beezrat to make oneself.
Okay, you're right. You're right 100%. It is mitzvah. It says you should tie. You're exactly. You're right 100%. But since we do not know how, and plus I'm not sure where I can even buy the string. So this string, right? The string must be made for a mitzvah of tzitzis. It cannot be you go to the store and buy the string just because it's wool and you can tie to the bar. Absolutely not. So this string must be woven for a mitzvah of tzitzis. So in this mind of the person, I think only men can do it. I'm not sure. Maybe women also can. I don't know what I say. But in his mind, it should be for a mitzvah of tzitzis. But only men can tie the tzitzis to the garment, because they're obligated in the mitzvah, and that's why they can do it. What are the materials to make the tzitzit string? The string itself, this part?
Yes.
Or
the string can be cotton, can be made of.
No, this one, no. It's the best way is it's from what is it? From wool. That's the best. Can it be for cotton? I think so.
Yes.
Be from linen.
It's not very frequent to find wool, but cotton is very easy to buy in any store.
You see, let's see. I only go to the stores. So in stores, sometimes the talus itself would be from wool, right? So it's proper to have wool talus and wool tzitzis. but sometimes it would be from a cotton, like a thinner one. So some people will say it's hot in the summer, so they would wear cotton for whatever reason, right? So yeah, but I never seen. I mean, even though in halacha they allowed to make a cotton tzitzis or even from linen tzitzis, but I mean I have not seen. The best way, even if they have cotton towels, they would have wool tzitzis for sure.
And what about the prayer, the Talit Gadol?
The big one, Gadol is same exactly the same. So it, I mean, some people make it from silk or from, but I never saw one from cotton. It's usually silk, or which is expensive one, or like orthodox way is from wool. That's it. I mean, straightforward.
If you are training to recite certain prayers which requires Talit Gadol, can you, or it's a sin?
No. Even if you, but you can practice on anything. You can practice on a towel if you have big towel. If you have like bed sheets, you can practice on that.
What if you already have bought a kosher Talit Gadol?
Yes, I mean, yes, to practice, yes, but not to wear.
And
we see when a person starts wearing things, it comes into his mind. So maybe I don't have to go all the way. So what exactly different I'm doing? You understand? I'm just giving you rationale of our sages. So it must be many things, or at least some things that he's missing, that he or she understand. I'm not exactly there. I'm close to that point. I'm working with Beezrat, I'm working with Rabbi, I'm learning in the process, but I'm not there. And until, so the goal must be to go through the Beezrat. Otherwise, people keep Shabbos. You don't understand. Like, of course, they don't know the laws, but some no-hides. No heights, and I met that. I said, "You normal? Why would you do that?" I said that the punishment is death penalty. But I mean, probably they saw some YouTube videos and they cool. Of course, they don't keep, but they try to do kiddush. They know the blessing for the candles and stuff like that, and they have challahs and sing songs and all these things. So
another is, what about screens? If you have problems with the vision, for example, I have problems reading. Can you use screens during Shabbos?
Screen? What screen? I didn't get what's kind of
TV screens.
But so it's going to be displayed something on the TV screen?
Yes, you put a playlist of shiurim before the.
Shiurim. I didn't. No. We don't do that. So even though you put, like as we said before, if you start something before Shabbos and it's running during the Shabbos, it's no problem. It's electronic. But here we say it's not in the spirit of Shabbos. So many things we don't do because it's not in the spirit of Shabbos. You understand? We don't watch TV in general, but especially on Shabbos. So on Shabbos we read books. So it's proper. I mean, maybe buy a printer or whatever, they print out the things from internet and you can read. But see, TV, computer, for sure we don't. I mean, even if you don't touch, it plays by itself. We don't do that because that's not on Shabbos. Yeah,
it will be a transgression also for people who are converting.
You see, I asked Rabbi this question. Just
because I'm talking specifically with people that have issues with reading. For example, I cannot read certain amount of time, and I cannot use any more.
So you have to understand. So if you're physically and not capable of doing things, if you have some difficulty, so you're not obligated. So you're not allowed to push yourself too much. Yeah? You understand? You do as much as you can. You have difficulty of you need to lie down, so you have to lie down. It's not. It's a Torah was given to us to live by it, not to die by it. You understand? So some people go crazy and they overdo things. That's not. They do all of these extremes. It's not Torah. It's not. You understand?
So in this case, we are not allowed to put a TV screen.
No.
So what would you do in case you are converting? How do you?
So I read as much as you can and go to bed to sleep. If there's nothing else to do, you can go outside, take a walk, enjoy the weather. You understand? So just make sure you don't have anything in your pockets. As we said, you're not allowed to carry things. Hide your key somewhere or give it to somebody, like do something with the key, or create some, as we said, like in a belt, right? The belt thing, or something that you would be. We're going to learn that there is some ways, like for example, if you cut the belt on the side and put 2 rings, and between 2 rings, let me get the belt. 1 second, I'll show you. So I have a belt here. So if I cut the belt here, right? I cut the belt here, right? Regular belt, and I put 2 rings, right? 2 rings, like key rings, from this side and this side, and between the 2 rings, I put the key. So in this case, I would be allowed to wear this belt, because without this key, the belt is going to fall. You understand? Maybe if you want, I'll prepare. I have rings and I have a key, and I'll show you how it works. So that's what some people do. That would be kosher way to carry your key outside.
Before one last question, I have another question about how to study on Shabbos, the Torah, and what if you use a vinyl, a mechanical vinyl recording of a shiur?
Mechanical what?
Mechanical vinyl, a disc of vinyl.
But how still all the sounds are not allowed.
Use sound.
Yeah. So one, as we learn in our laws of Shabbos class, all of the things that produce sound, not allowed.
Okay.
So basically, to put it like straightforward, there's only thing that you can do is read. So the only way to read Torah on Shabbos is to read from the printed text.
And I heard someday that if you somewhere, I don't remember where, but if you pass all the Shabbos sleeping, you fulfill the mitzvah.
100%.
Okay.
So that's why we say some people get upset with me, but like somebody would ask me to pray. Somebody's sick, right? And they ask me to pray. I say, I'm going to pray for this person if he or she is going to accept a mitzvah. I mean, I'm talking about Jews, right? Accept a mitzvah upon themselves. If they're not going to accept any mitzvah, why would I pray for them? Now they're sick, they're laying in bed, they're in the hospital, right? And they don't desecrate Shabbos. They absorb all of these laws. Baruch Hashem, now because, let's say, I'm not tzaddik, but let's say because I pray with my group, we learn them, they got recovered. And now this lady is going to start doing all of the sins that she was doing before, and she was prevented when she was sick. So for her good, let her be sick and be in a hospital bed. You understand? So unless they want to accept something upon themselves. So it's better for people to sleep. For many people, it's better to sleep. It says in Pirkei Avos, when the wicked people sleep, it's good for them and good for the world, because they don't do the bad things. But when righteous person sleeps, right? It says it's bad for him and bad for the world. Bad for him because he's losing the mitzvah. Bad for the world because we miss his or her learning Torah doing the mitzvahs. You understand? So the whole world benefit. Why are you sleeping? But that guy, let him sleep. Don't wake him up.
Okay. The last question is it better for Jews to avoid reporting things to the authorities?
Is it better for Jews to report the things to authorities?
To avoid reporting, for example, having an issue with a non-Jew neighbor. Is it better to avoid reporting him to the authorities?
So I would say it all depends on the case. So if you can resolve without these authorities, would be best.
I say this because maybe they see, oh, these Jews are going to the police. They are people that are problematic. So maybe it's not.
No. Okay, so there are different cases. So between Jew and non-Jew, there is we cannot go to authorities unless we're allowed by a Beis Din. So, for example, if it's a monetary issue, stuff like that, you have to go to Beis Din. They call this guy 3 times. He does not go. He does not come. He's not Shomer Shabbos. He does not care. Let's say so. The Beis Din gives you a letter, right? That you are allowed. So official letter that you're allowed to go to the non-Jewish court. But with the non-Jews, technically we can take them. So if it's possible to invite to the Beis Din, and some people do, some non-Jews, because they know that the Beis Din is going to judge righteously, so they would go with you to the Beis Din. There is no problem, and see what Beis Din has to say.
So if you can bring a non-Jew neighbor to the Beis Din,
of course.
I didn't know that.
Yes. And if he said, I don't want to come, they're on your side, you're people, I don't understand, I'm afraid of them. So you're allowed to I mean, we're trying to avoid to go to their court. So the reason is I'm going to explain the big picture, right? Why we're not allowed between Jews and another Jew to go to the court, to the this government court, right? Even in the cases where the law of the government, law of the land is exactly as the law of the Torah, exactly. So it does not matter. So I can go to this court, or I can wait for 3 months until the rabbinical court is going to assemble, right? So they say, when you go to their court, you show that our Torah cannot decide these things. You understand? So in some sense, you display the weakness of the Torah. So, but if it's non-Jew, it's different. I mean, if he said, I'm not going to give you a Beis Din, and of course you consult with Rabbi, so all of the cases are different. Some cases you can resolve just paying the money and that's it. Many things can be resolved with money, right? So that's it. So I have to ask Rabbi. It's case by case, but we try to avoid it if there is no choice. If he's playing music like at 3 o'clock in the morning, you cannot sleep, you cannot function. Everybody is so of course, I mean, you're allowed to take him.
Oh, okay. Another question, but for the next class, maybe.
Okay, Beezrat Hashem. So any other questions? Right. So we stop here, and until tomorrow. Thank you very much. Good night.
Good night.